what am I doing again? It was the last. What's the
worst?
What's the worst Star Wars film?
Right,
This
is a quick and easy one because I'm sure
we'll
we'll all agree with me. The Force Awakens is the worst one. See, I did a Jack there. I looked straight at the camera.
Oh.
Force Awakens is the worst one.
Which one are you looking
That's the what, camera one?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
look at the other one because I'm not sure if the other one's working.
This one? Or the little one?
Look at that little one.
Force Awakens is the worst one.
Yours isn't working?
I don't know if it is or not.
Yeah, and we say that solely because of the carbon copy.
Carbon copy. It is a carbon copy. Look, it's
Yeah.
fun. It's a fun movie. It's got some pretty cool characters. But watching the second half of that film, I was bored. I was bored out of my mind.
I can't get through it. Like, I put it on, like, I really want to watch this movie because it is so good at the start. And I watch it, I'm like, yeah. And then there's a point where I'm just like, nah, I'm out.
I don't think I've seen it. I might have seen it a second time. I've definitely haven't seen it 3. I just can't get. If I want to watch a good Star Wars film, I'll watch number 4, and I'll be like, oh yeah, substitute Rey in there, and I've seen number 7 as well. Killing two birds with one stone.
I can really
That's
only
efficiency.
actually sit through about 2 of them. It's funny because it's one of my favorite franchises.
Yeah.
And I don't really like any of the films.
Well, I think the thing there is that it's not that you can't sit through them; it's that you remember them. So why would you watch them again unless you're like a diehard fanboy?
No,
that's what
I
it is for
enjoy
me.
them. That's the thing is, I can watch 4 and 5. I think that's probably the 2 that I can sit through. 1, I think is a terrible film. 2 has so much lovey crap and bad writing and bad plot and bad nonsense.
Natalie Portman is stunning.
3 is better than 2 by like a smidge.
3,
and even 6 I can't watch because 6, 50 minutes into it, has that horrible CGI chick dancing and singing that karaoke scene.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
only
that
in the
tentacle-
Well, that's what it is. It's only in the
All the
special
extra-
edition,
yeah, all
but
the
I
extra
can't
stuff.
get a copy of the original edition, so my choice is I just don't watch 6, or I
Yeah.
skip through it.
There's that, and then when they change the music at the end at the Ewok part, that's what stuck with me
Ewoks
the
blink
most.
now. Like
No, but like, at the end, the Rebel Celebration used to have like
God.
shitty bongo music, like bears in a forest making music, and now it's this weird track, and they do the flyby of every planet
It
that's
just
been in Star Wars.
shows that like
And it's
George
just like,
Lucas
go
didn't know
away.
what he had almost. Like he didn't realize he'd made such an amazing world. Like because it's the movies are just like a lens to this amazing world that everyone just wants to be in and be a Jedi and use the Force and have fun and all this stuff. But it's like the movies, I don't know. That's my opinion.
Is that the one with the big tentacles out of head? The
That's
dancer?
the Twi'lek. That's the one we were saying.
No,
Like,
that's not the
one that
karaoke
keeps
scene. The
Six is
karaoke
awful.
scene
The
is
karaoke
this
one
god
has
awful
like
thing
this
with
long
long
snout thing.
Oh yeah,
Six
I
is-
can see
6
that one
is
too.
awesome.
Yeah.
It just has all that horrible special edition crap in it that just like it makes it horrible in my mind. Plus,
I think
don't
they're
know.
all. I think all.
I don't mind
every,
Ewoks,
every
but I know a
single
lot
one
of people
them
have
is
problems
a
with
good film
Ewoks.
in its own way. I think, but they're only good. They're better than the sum of its parts. You know, the franchise is what ties it all together.
It is insane.
Because like number 6
Star Wars-
is number
it's
6
it's
the
Star
one
Wars,
that
like-
starts in Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
And like it's a cool
Yeah.
sequence, but it's like an hour of the film that doesn't really contribute in a lot of ways. Like they rescue Han, and then they're like, oh yeah, by the way,
But Luke's
we should
such a-
save the galaxy.
Luke's such a badass.
Yeah, he's cool. Like it's a
Yeah.
cool scene, but like if you hadn't had the 2 movies before that, you wouldn't care. It would be like, why are they in the desert planet again?
But
like, is Han Solo that integral? I don't
That's what
know.
It's like the world and the characters that
Yeah,
make
definitely.
it, and not
But
necessarily.
my argument for that
everything else
is like the same what I say about the prequel movies. Like you can hate on all the political stuff and all the lovey-dovey, like
I
but,
love the
but like what would you have put there without it? Like and you know,
Anything.
the prequels are all like the steps that Anakin takes towards being evil, which is all the lovey-dovey stuff. But
It's
like
just- but it's just
his
badly
mother
written,
died. It's
though.
all the other stuff where it's just like, okay, I have to sit through this. But like
It's
in
so
the end, you can sort of
angsty
just
and
go,
boring. It's just kind of boring now. Like I don't know, but I mean,
It's because you've
takes-
seen it. It's because
but-
you've seen it.
oh, do you have an
Yes.
issue with Hayden's acting as well?
A little bit.
Because like, I watch,
But again,
I watch
bad
all the
writing, that's
special
what they talk
bonus
about, that, like,
stuff
that-
that comes on the DVDs. But that was the way George
The
wanted
line
it.
like "I hate sand," like there's even the best actor would have trouble getting that line across.
I want to see Christopher Walken do it. Or no,
Oh, we have a thing
Christoph
where-
Waltz.
No,
Christoph
drunk-
Waltz. I hate sand. It's
sand. Yeah.
sand. It's itchy and it's everywhere.
When we're drunk,
I
we have
can't
this
do
thing
that.
where we
that
have
is
to have
Walken,
Christopher
not Waltz.
Walken do like
That
a
was
remake
Walken, yeah,
of
yeah.
of like Lord of the Rings and stuff. Like, and then we'll sit there and spend an hour and a half.
Christopher Walken in every
Laugh.
role.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I will take the ring into Mordor. I can't do it. I'm so bad at it.
We get the gist of it though.
Yeah. My sword.
I still think
My
one is
precious.
One episode 1. Like, there's no protagonist. Really. It's so strange, that movie, the way it's structured.
I
like people because it's like Obi-Wan and Anakin are like throughout 2 and 3, and they're like the main people of that kind of trilogy. But in episode 1, they're not. Like, Obi-Wan's like the sidekick, and Anakin's just a little kid. And like Liam Neeson's character is like the main character, but then
he is
dies.
like structurally he's like the protagonist.
Yeah, and you got Jar Jar, and you got CGI armies, and lots of more boring shit, and racist aliens, like those ones like, he's getting us through. Like, oh, it's so strange. Or even the other one where he's like, Annie.
The Neomordians.
The racist. Who's little Annie? Who's that one? He's like Watto, and he's like a Jewish stereotype, and he's just that's also incredibly racist, and he likes money, and it's just horrible, and he's got like the big snout nose. It's like.
Oh no!
It's bad.
Knowing the widest Star Wars universe, I'm telling you, that's not the Jewish stereotype.
The whole thing is.
There's a worse one.
Strange.
No, I mean, there's different aspects. If you really want to focus on the physical appearance with the, like with Watto, like I guess. But then you have the banking clan, which is essentially the money powerhouse and the economic, the status, the everything else.
I try not to let that bother me. I mean, it is.
Well, that's what George Lucas says. He's like, Star Wars is for kids. Get over it.
Star Wars is for kids.
Yeah. Well, and everyone's like, all the people in their 30s, and they're like, no.
Well, Jar Jar was never meant to make it out of the first movie. He was added. He was added to be like a child-friendly character, and then.
Oh, who's that?
Even then, he was meant to be more brusque and rough,
like
an
make it
amphibious.
Didn't everyone hate him?
Well,
it was meant to be for the kids, like something fun.
Misa,
that the kids
a senator, Misa, a president now, and they're like, Jar Jar, why, how?
Misa Bombad General.
Oh, who's that? Who's that bloody character that's like?
Boss
One's the worst.
The Clone Wars, you see a lot more Jar Jar.
Episode 1's the worst in my opinion.
It's pretty.
So
well, but I like bits.
You think 7's like
the worst?
You think 7's the worst?
It's the hardest to watch by far.
I
don't know how anyone could disagree with me.
If you've seen the other one.
I'd say 7, but like number 1, it's got some terrible bits, but like pod racing and then the Duel of the Fates, the final fight in that movie, like you could not care about the rest of it. You could have those 2 scenes and it'd make it.
It's
like
a cool
the hype,
everything
else is so much better than like what 7 brought to the table in the end.
Here's my counterpoint.
The effects on 7 like get me through it. Like the X-wings and everything. The dog fights have me moist.
Tatooine.
But some of the other stuff, like the Han on the bridge scene, where it wasn't even foreshadowing. It was just like,
so stupid.
Here's what's happening. Deal with it.
How do I love this franchise? It makes me mad every time I think about it.
We're all sitting around here like, oh yeah, by the way, we actually hate it.
That's why I have no intention of watching them. Because I'm an
adult.
Oh no,
I'm an
they're
adult.
great.
They're great. You've got to watch them.
You need to be educated. And,
you need to be.
And you'll watch them and not think of half the shit we're bringing up now. We've had years to read shit on the internet and get angry like other people.
But like,
or,
you guys were a kid as you were watching them. So you've
got
like
I
age.
wasn't.
I was talking to Sean about this. It's like age hardening. Like you've just kind of like fallen in love with it more and more and more over the years.
Oh, like nostalgia.
Whereas I don't think I'd be able to do that now.
Yeah, it is hard.
Because I've got a fully functioning brain.
My dad...
Wow. Take that, Star Wars nerds.
It is funny when your sort of tastes change and like you do become like, I guess, a bit more intellectual and whatnot. Because like I remember as a kid or when I was younger, episodes 2 and episode 6 were my favorite. I can't sit through 2 now. Or when I do, that's the thing with the prequel. Okay, you say 7, you can't sit through. The prequel, I sit there with the remote. I'm like fast forwarding through all the bad parts.
And then the Battle of Geonosis, and you're like, oh yeah, the last 20 minutes is good.
My counterpoint to both yours is that
when Yoda pulled out his saber, that was just like that was the it.
Well, when I was a kid, I was like, this is awesome. But now I'm like, that's so stupid and dumb. Like that's so like not what Yoda's character is about. He's so like peaceful and use the Force and calm, and he's like, he's flipping and jumping. You're like,
oh, you loved it.
No,
but then how would you explain the jump to like in number 3 where he has to actually fight Palpatine? Like,
that was probably worse to me. I loved it, but I hated it because I was like,
I threw the Senate at him. Whatever.
Robot chicken. That's a good segue. All right, let's move.
I want to get my counterpoints that I was going to say.
Okay.
All right. Well, no, because you mentioned the battle at the end of episode 1, and I was thinking about that. Maybe with the music's like probably the best part about it, but like. I was like, I just wanted to watch that Darth Vader fight scene. Sorry, Darth Maul at the end of episode 1, and it literally, it only shows it to you in about 10-second, 20-second chunks. It's like they start fighting, cuts away to some other people, starts fighting again, cuts away to other people. I was like, I just want the fight. I stopped watching the movie. I googled YouTube Darth Maul fight scene, edited, and like I just watched the fight scene like that, and I was like, this is much better. So even then, I can't even enjoy it because they keep cutting away to other stuff. It's like I just want the fight.
My
scene.
counterpoint to that is that climax of that movie is actually like there's a lot going on. Like there's the fight on the plains of Naboo with the Gungans and the droids. Then there's like the infiltration of Naboo Plaza with like all the soldiers. Then there's the palace, fight in the sky where they're trying to take down the Trade Federation. And then there's the Jedi duel. I mean, there's heaps. It's cool.
That doesn't make it good. No.
I'm not saying it's good, but I'm saying in that like 20 minutes, half an hour, like the amount of cuts that they do to like build the tension, I guess. If you hadn't seen it before...
you're not going to do like each battle one by one. I mean,
each battle one by one would be awful, but instead it's like this global kind of like struggle on every level has to work, or else the whole thing falls apart.
See, you're talking, you're like an ad person, like telling me why it's good, but I think watching that doesn't come across.
Well,
I think it's just like a hodgepodge mashup of scenes. And I don't know, with episode 7, I was just going to say that...
It's because Star Wars is for children.
We are in the... Well, with episode 7...
Oh, thanks,
like,
Aiden.
we have to recognize that we are in the minority. That movie, everybody loves that movie.
Yeah.
I think people are coming around more to it now, but when they came out of it, like, everyone was so high on it. And like I was like, no, it was good. And my friend was like, and I was like, well, it was good.
See, I was rare because even on my first viewing of that film, I came out of it and I was like, what the fuck did I just pay for? Because it's not that it was a bad... I really enjoyed the first half of it, but as soon as they started flying onto Death Planet... And they were like going through trenches again. I was like, I've seen this film. Where's the one I want to watch? Who cut in the tape?
I let out a groan, or I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Yeah, like
Starkiller Base. That's even a stupid name. Well, as if Death Star was not bad enough.
Starkiller was meant to be Skywalker originally. Like they changed it to Skywalker from Starkiller because, like
so why put it back in?
Because the creators were a bit like, "Oh, Starkiller's a bit."
The high and low, like again coming out, like starting that. Going into that film and coming out of that film, like going into it, when the music came on, I was like, got goosebumps. I was like, yes. And when it's like the crawl and it was like Luke Skywalker is like missing or whatever it was, and I was like, holy crap, I was like, that was like the best opening crawl ever. I was so high on that film, and then by the end, I was like,
but there were no answers either. It was all just like this. It was like, hey, the bad guys are bad again, or still, I don't know. I mean, where did the First Order come from? It makes no sense.
You had this great setup of like, where's Luke? We need to go find Luke. I'm like, that's cool. Yeah, let's go find Luke. And they're like, nah, let's put that on hold and let's copy episodes 4. And I was like, no, don't do that, please. And they're like, no, we'll do it. And then Han Solo turns to the fucking camera and he's like, we know how to take out Death Stars. And I was like, what the fuck am I watching? This is horrible. And they just did the whole everything. Oh god. And then at the very end of the film, they're like,
a little bit
now we're gonna go find. Now we're gonna go find Luke. I'm like, yay!
And then they find him in the last like 45 seconds.
Wait until fucking 2 years for episode 8.
There's a lot of points that people brought up from that movie, though.
Fuck you, J.J.
like
Abrams.
Plot holes, everything else, and it's it's going to be answered in episode 8.
Yeah,
but like,
hack J.J. Abrams.
Yeah. Lens flare. I mean, anyone could do that. Are we done with that topic?
Yes.
I think we're done with that.
Segue to you.
Segue.
Oh wait. Sorry. Let me finish.
What did you guys think is the worst
actual
one? I said 1. You said 7.
I said 7.
Yeah, 7.
The actual worst one. That's right. I don't have I've watched 3 of them.
What's the worst one that you've watched?
I can't remember the second one. I've seen 7 and
Felix is
Rogue
like
One.
Blue Harvest was kind of weird.
Why they introduce family?
You walked in on an episode of Clone Wars and was like, that looks rubbish.
Or the Clone Wars movie even.
Out of the ones I've seen, I'd have to say number 2.
Is the worst.
Well, I enjoy number 7.
Who cares on your opinion though? You haven't seen any of them.
Because I'm an adult. Fuck you.
You're like, there was no context to this film that's number 5 in a series, in a prequel trilogy.
The actual worst one, ranked by thousands of people, was number 1.
I guess, recognized as the worst, I think.
Yeah.
Alright.
Closely followed by number 2.
Yeah, and then
number 2.
Three's like the best of the worst. Everyone loves 7.
Number 7 came like
because
4th.
it's new and it's fun and it's
Rogue One though
quippy
is a sleeper hit. Rogue One is probably up in the top.
Rogue One might be my favorite Star Wars movie.
It's probably up there, yeah.
Mine.
Well, the best analogy,
thank you, Felix.
The best analogy I heard about Force Awakens and Rogue One was Force Awakens is a great film with a mediocre ending. And Rogue One is a mediocre film with an amazing ending.
It does have an amazing ending.
That's kind of cool because I did think Rogue One, it's kind of sloppy at the start. It's like, are we gonna do a crawl? I don't know. You tell me. Credits. But then back to the scene. I'm like, just do a crawl. Just fucking start. What are you doing? Stop it.
And then it's like, only one
now we're on a planet. Now we're on another planet.
Well,
now we're on another planet. And you're like, am I supposed to remember these planets? Like, I don't know. You tell me. and then once they start the whole sequence at the end, it's amazing.
It's also one of the only ones.
That's a good point. I just assumed that those planets were like.
Well, it's like Jergargan for Gargan. You're like, I'm like, should I write this down? And they're like, huh? You tell me. And I'm like, fuck, just. And then then it gets good, and then once it starts getting good, it doesn't slow down.
The entire fight, like Scarif, the fights on the surface, in the air, everything, and then the icing on the cake was Vader. The second that saber come on, it's just you're like, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? The first swing, you're like crying with joy, like
it wasn't
wetting your pants.
Too.
But also, it wasn't like he was doing flips or any cool shit. It was all within the realm, like it was all within the realm of everything you've seen before. So they weren't stretching it or breaking anything to you. It was
everything we wanted.
It was such a well shot movie.
It's one of the greatest scenes in like cinema history, not just Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, like that scene. Maybe it's because there's 40 years of history behind it.
It's just like...
but definitely. It's still...
I never thought he was that scary growing up, but that scene, like, cements it. This is what everyone saw, like, back in the 70s. It's like a goddamn horror movie, and it's so good. Like, when they're, like, banging, I'm like, help! And he's just like, he grabs the gun.
Cut me down.
And I've never had a film that's given me exactly what I wanted as, like, Rogue One. Like, I tried to find audio of this, Josh, of me, where I literally... I said to friends and people, and they don't remember, but I was like, I want a scene where Vader essentially did that. Like, I said this before seeing Rogue One. I was like, I want Vader to just walk down a corridor, and you can't stop him. No matter what you throw at him, you can't stop him. And I got that. And I couldn't believe I was getting what I had in my vision in my head. It was like, it was insane. I wish I had audio of me saying that.
The temple...
it's freaky how perfect they put on
they
screen
read
what
your
I had
mind.
in my head. Yeah, it was like it felt like they had read my mind. It was insane.
Even him in that Bacta tank in his temple on Mustafar, like that was like oh shit.
Yeah.
And that is set for a comeback in episode 8, I think. Like the rumors, the bits and pieces you hear is like that's Kylo's new hangout because of his little fetish for Vader.
Because of his fetish for lava. What is it with villains and lava? It's like, oh, fire, it's hot, I love it. This is where I'm going to put my evil lair, and I'm going to put a sign on the front door saying, do not welcome to my evil lair.
Sith Lords only.
No shoes allowed.
That sanctum, the whole sanctum, the idea of it as well. Like it's not like, he's in a suit by day and then he's having a swim by night. Like this whole like meditation. He's got his own temple on a lava planet. His own like...
Why is it good guys have ice and bad guys have fire?
Game of Thrones friend. It's the other way around. You're stupid. No.
Well, now I'm thinking of like Superman's sanctum.
It's just like juxtaposition over it, or what is it? I don't know.
Yeah,
like the connotations and stuff.
It's like why the lightsabers are blue and the bad ones are red, I guess. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, that'll do it. That'll do it.
We'll have a separate podcast on colours.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
All right. Kat showed me. There was a thing. It's like every movie is orange and blue if you watch it. Like if you type in like I don't know. It's just like it's all these screenshots. Everything is just like orange and blue.
Oh yeah.
Especially Michael Bay Transformers movies. There's like blue skies and then like all their skin's very orangey and weird. Like it's just.
Or like Mad Max is a huge.
An interesting one.
Massively blue and orange.
I like the TV series that CW are doing at the moment with Arrow and.
Is it
Flash.
Star Wars related?
No, but I'm like an interesting thing for color is if you watch those shows, Arrow has green themes, Flash has red themes. Themed
podcast.
Felix has seen
sorry, I
three
did
of
talk
these.
about Mad
You're
Max.
saying how Arrow's green, Flash is red, and then Supergirl's blue?
Yeah, something.
Yeah, I like that too. I like it's like
and the same thing with Netflix. They got Daredevil's red, Luke Cage is.
It's a weird
yellow.
subconscious thing of like I was like in my mind I was like I don't really care about the characters. It's like they're rounding out
Jessica
colours.
Jones.
They're like rounding out the colours.
Yeah, it's clever. I mean, anyway, we'll
It's a
move on.
spectrum.
There. I don't want to talk about that.
What are we counting?
I was joking about the color.
Also, with the red and
podcast.
blue, they're on opposite ends of the spectrum, so it's like as good as you can be and as bad as you can be.
Yeah, but why is red bad? I guess that was my point.
And then
because lava.
And then you're
Lava's
in the middle.
red.
Yeah, because
lava will
because
kill
of
you.
lava.
It's the connotations and stuff
Purple's like in the
implied.
middle then. I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, but that
They're
makes
confused
Windu
about
was
whether or
really
not
interesting.
they're. bad
But
or good.
that was his whole thing. His fighting style was like so aggressive. It was like
the lore behind it is like
that's the lore. Yeah,
he wasn't a master based on his talent with the Force. It was more that he was like a martial powerhouse. And then
which is
the
weird,
actual
didn't Sam Jackson just ask?
No, he defeated Palpatine, and then Anakin.
But he
cut
couldn't
off
do
his
anything
hands.
with the lightning.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Give me my
he couldn't use
motherfucking
the
purple
Force to defend
lightsaber.
himself, but like the lightsaber's gone. Yeah.
I love the story behind that though.
Yeah,
He's
Samuel
literally
L.
just
Jackson. I want to see
level-
myself on screen. Give me a different color lightsaber.
Yeah, that's all it was. He went up to George Lucas and was like, I want a different colour. So.
And he's like, well, technically, they've only been blue and green. He's like, no, give me purple. Yeah.
I mean, with all due respect to Mace Windu, he's like the only black Jedi. Like, did he need a different colour sword?
When you say so he could see himself in the
like in the
I
sky
do
shots
see more
over the
colours.
arena. In
He
episode
wanted to be
2,
able to see where he
There would have
was.
been one purple saber,
That purple
lots of blue, green, red shit everywhere, and he would have been like, "That's me."
I do hope we see more colours actually in a couple more films. Maybe
Yeah.
One was
Ooh,
pretty
predictions?
Spin-off films.
What colour's next?
Well, canonically,
you mean in
Did anyone play Star Wars: The Force Unleashed?
Yeah.
Which was a great video game. And like
In Knights of the
you
Old
could get all the
Republic as
different
well, you
colours.
can get a lot of
Yeah, there's like
different
yellow and
yellow
green
and stuff.
yellow.
Fucking
The
gold
Jedi
sparkly.
Temple guards
Black.
use yellow.
Yeah, the neutral
Plo
ones.
Koon was meant to be orange.
The
way
lightsabers.
back.
How do you get a black one?
Ahsoka from Clone Wars.
that's
is
cool,
silver.
though.
Yeah, silver.
Yeah.
Ahsoka.
No, there's a whole bunch
As
of
well
different
as the
colours in
black-
the
the
more
black
extended
crystal with
stuff.
the,
thing, yeah.
The dark saber. Yeah, it's,
So there you go, guys. You're
they've
learning
got a
all
whole.
about
They've
the
got a whole
colours.
spectrum. It's just it's not all in the movies.
The
it's all
emotional
there.
spectrum.
Yeah.
The emotional spectrum.
I was
Oh
reading
yeah,
about-
it's like a mood
And
knife.
then, yeah,
A mood
a
knife.
mood knife. Oh,
All right. Come on. Next
We
topic.
need to move on.
We
We're
need
so
to-
over
we need
the
to
time.
shuffle
I've
on.
done a horrible job as hosting. So.
You've
We're
done
going to
shocking.
cut
No,
this
this
up into
good.
topics, I
This is
think.
good.
I'm just
Yeah.
letting people talk. I always think I talk too much. So I'm like, at this point, I'm just letting people talk now. Maybe I need to talk over.
It's anarchy!
This is good, man. I like it.
All right.
I mean, I'm not here often, but you know,
Let's just set aside an hour and a half to talk about Star Wars.
your
and
Lord,
maybe
your Lord
we'll
and
film it.
Savior Palpatine.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
We were up to
So, final topic.